Hey everyone, it's me, Chris from Body Nova Fitness Coaching, and I'm here. A lot of you guys are having this time of year are having a lot of resolutions to change things, especially about your fitness, your health levels, how much body, how the way you look, things like that. And a lot most people tend to go in this cycle of things over and over and over. They jump in, they go into it head forward first with all the energy that they have, and they don't see the results that they want, and then they lose interest and eventually quit and let things slide and only be right back at the same spot that they were this time last year, without changing one bit, or without making any progress towards where they want to be or where they believe they should be. Okay, so I wanted to say this to you so you guys can keep this in mind, because insanity is defined as doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. And a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say that they're insane, but they are doing just that. They're doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. This time it's going to be different because, gosh darn it, I say it's going to be different. And there's nothing invested in it. And I can remember, seeing people, because I secretly root for everybody, everybody who's going through some weight loss, everybody who's going through some, going to gain large amounts of muscle, because I believe that everybody has it in them. So I'm secretly rooting for all of you. So, if you make your Instagram post, you make your Facebook post, I'm reading it. I'm actually reading it. I'm actually watching your video, and I'm trying to give myself a reason to cheer for you. But here's some of the things that I see. You hear the rah-rah stuff, and I'm not big on rah-rah stuff, about how things are going to change and all this stuff and how great it is and how great I am and how determined I am. But when the rubber actually meets the road, there's nothing, the walking isn't backing up the talking, okay? And I'm big on, if you talk the talk, you better walk the walk, okay? So with that in mind, I want people to start thinking about, what are you actually going to change this year? Are you going to keep doing the same things, or what are you going to change? Okay, for example, are you going to change your workouts? Okay, are you going to do the same workout you've always been doing, the same exercises with the same rep schemes, using the same weight, maybe the same time under tension, same rest periods? So if you're doing all the same stuff in the gym, you should expect the same results you've gotten. So with that concept of progressive overload, you've got to step things up, because you have to give your body a reason to change. It's just not going to give it to you, and in order to give it a reason to change, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. If you went to school, you had to be uncomfortable sometimes. You had to get up when you'd rather be asleep. You had to be doing homework when you'd rather be watching TV, or rather be at a party, or watching a football game, or something like that. You had to give up something in order to get something. And that's the same, it goes for working out. If you're not doing anything and you're expecting change, you should understand and know why you're not changing, okay? So you could track the frequency of your workouts. You just lay out the month over in advance and say, okay, I'm going to work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to take the weekends off, all right? And then you can track that and how many times a month. Okay, if I go 4 weeks of the month, I should have at least 4 workouts and maybe 1 or 2 extra for the extra 2 or 3 days a month. And see if I get that. If I'm not getting that, that's an opportunity I have to improve my situation. All right. Tracking the volume, how much work. Okay, am I doing 3 sets of 10? All right. Well, things are starting to slow down. Can I make it 3 sets of 12? Can I make it 4 sets of 10? How am I moving forward with my workouts so that I'm not stuck in this same situation next year? I might have the same goal, but at least if it was 50 pounds, maybe I'm losing 20 pounds. Maybe I lost 25 pounds this year and I've got 25 to go. All right, so you could track the intensity. Maybe now it's 3 sets of 10. Maybe at a later date it's 5 sets of 8 or 4 sets of 15. things like that. But there's a lot of apps in the phone that you can use, and you can track that, and work towards making more progress towards your goal, to help keep that ball rolling with the weight loss or the gaining muscle, or, you could track your food intake, all right, and that's again nutrition. You could say, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is my plan, my macros, whatever it is, all right, with your nutrition. You can map that out on the calendar and say, okay, how many days a week, all right? Okay, 7 days a week. Okay, let's give me 1 day to have one cheat meal or something like that. And you can track how many days you're hitting your targets. Are you going over? Are you going under? Is it too much carbs? Is it not enough protein? Is it too much fats? Whatever it is, you can track that and then figure out what's wrong and then make your adjustment. All right? So that's some of the deals. What are successful days? What are non-successful days? If I splurged and had a non-successful day because I stressed out, okay, what is the trigger? What is the trigger that's making me reach for food that I shouldn't be eating, in order to calm your nerves? So that's something, again, you can think about when you're tracking your nutrition, the intake or the behaviors, and then you can figure out what's wrong, because it might be, it's like, hey, you know what? If I run into certain people, that might, I have a certain conversation at night that might make me too upset, and I'll sleep wrong, and then all of a sudden I got bad cravings the next day. Another thing to think about. All right, stress and sleep management, and they kind of go hand in hand. So there's apps for that. Sleep Cycle is one, and you could just place it on the dresser right next to your bed. I guess someone put it under their pillow, put their phone under their pillow, and it caught on fire. I don't know how true that is, but let's just not put it underneath our pillows for that. You can just put it next to you, and it'll track how you toss and turn and get up and all that stuff, and it'll give you a percentage of the quality of your sleep. You could work toward improving your sleep quality. All right, that might make it easier for you to adhere to a nutrition program. That might make it so you could train harder if your sleep quality is better. All right, HRV. I believe it's called Elite HRV is what the app is called, and with that, you have your heart rate monitor attached to your chest, and it's like a 2-minute test. Okay, some people think it's like all day long. No, you have your heart rate monitor next to you when you get up. You strap it around your chest there, and first thing in the morning, you sit there, you cut the app, let it sync up, cut the app on, and it checks your breathing and your heart rate for the time period. Okay. And if the HRV is lower, that means you're more stressed, because the variability of your heartbeats is not supposed to be consistent all the way through. Okay, that's why I don't recommend using a watch, because the watch, it evens out the variability between the beats, where you're actually measuring that. So if you even it out, there's no point in measuring it. So you want a heart rate monitor, and you can find them for like $20 on eBay. It's much cheaper than a watch. All right. So you get that, you get your number, and if it starts to go really high, like say you try to work out 3 days in a row and it starts to get high, it can coach you through some guided breathing to help you calm, that fight or flight response in your body, and help you manage your stress or manage your lifestyle a little bit better. Or you might say, hey, you know what, I'm training too much, let me take a day off, and that's things to think about. Are you getting magnesium? Magnesium can help you with that. Magnesium can help you manage that. It's also a common nutrition deficiency. All right, helps you manage your blood sugar. In addition to stress levels, helps you manage your testosterone. So that's something else. But these are things that you could start working on, in addition to just going to the gym and going balls out all day, every day, and to help you make progress, okay? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you make progress. You want to invest as little as possible and get the most from it, right? When you buy a car, you try to get the most car for your money, right? Well, think of it with your fitness program. You want to get the most, the largest increases in fitness, the largest increases in fat loss, the largest increases in strength, muscle mass, whatever it is, decrease in your running time, that you can with the least invested effort, because you should also have a life outside of the gym. All right. There's other apps for guided breathing and meditation, and one is called Calm. I love Headspace, but it's kind of pricey, so I don't want to pay for Headspace. Brain FM is great. All right, so you can just listen to it, and you take 10 minutes, and it'll help you calm your nervous system down. After a stressful day of work, a tough day in the gym, you can use those sort of apps and help you calm down your nervous system activity, so it'll be easier for you to sleep, or you're less likely to go into stress eating and mess up your nutrition program. All right. So now whatever, the other thing is your measurements, because some people, they only use the scale, or they're afraid to face the scale. So, they're just like, okay, I'm hoping that I'm changing, but I'm not measuring to see if I'm changing so I can figure out what I need to change. All right, so there's, and I have a video on this in more detail. Can be based on your goals. If you have a big waist, you start measuring waist circumference. Need your legs smaller too, you start measuring legs. Maybe arm size if you want them bigger, shoulders, whatever. Also, like I said, with the stress management, nutrition management, what are your triggers? You can analyze them weekly and things like that. And here's the deal with measuring. Gosh, let me cover this name. Okay, with the story, I had a client, and what we did was every Saturday morning. It was every Saturday morning, somewhere between 7 and 8. She would leave the gym, and she would weigh in after she left the gym, and she would say, "Hey, Taskmaster, I lost." Her nickname for me was Taskmaster. "Hey, Taskmaster, I lost so much weight. I lost 2 pounds, 1 pound, whatever it was." And you can see the trend. Okay, so it'd be 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 pound, 0. 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 pound, 0. 2 pounds, 2 pounds. So before we got through the third month of what she was doing, what you find out is this client adapts to workout variables very quickly. She's pretty athletic, even though she was older, and she adapts to what you throw at her very quickly. Okay, so what we ended up doing to do that, we figured out, okay, well, in that fourth week, if I don't change her program, she's going to have a 0. Okay, and why waste time? So after 3 weeks of the same workout, we changed her program. So she kept losing, at least a pound a week up until she got where she wanted to be. But when you don't have that information at your fingertips if you're not tracking certain behaviors. Okay, so even with the working out, some people do the steps. Okay, you do your weights. You do your cardio. Okay, now you can add your steps to that and see where to go to take it up. How many days are you doing those steps? How many days are you working out per week? And what happens at the end of the week when you weigh in and you're not afraid to face that scale? Or you do the mirror thing and you take pictures and you try to make the picture as similar to the previous picture as possible. And cover and uncovering as much as you can instead of trying to hide everything and run from the truth. I understand sometimes that messes with people, bothers with people, but sometimes you have to face your demons, you have to face your fears, and in order to get ahead. And sometimes that could be the one thing that's holding you back. So with all that being said, there's things that you want to change in order to help you get where you want. So I'm hoping that you guys actually, put the effort into making something different this time around, so that next year this time you're not sitting in the exact same place. Even if the goal is the same, you've made some progress towards that, and you have an idea of your own winning success formula for success. So you want to be able to create that strategy, because it's going to be different for everyone. Some people might be able to hang on to that same program a little longer than this client that I'm thinking of, could, but she adapted very quickly, so you got to have these things in there. As you advance, you will adapt to programs more quickly. So with that, I hope you guys get my point. I really want you to change, to work on seeing how you can do things differently this year and making sure you make the progress you want to make towards your fitness goals.